What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jared Williams Show. We got another guest on today because Joel is still out washing. Better get used to guests. Joel's going to be washing for a while. Today we got a buddy of mine. His name is Marcus Boyd. Is that your last name?
That's it.
Dude, you're the man. Welcome.
Appreciate you having me on, man. I'm excited to share my story or whatever on the platform.
Cool. You didn't even know what you're doing.
Joe don't.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Cool.
You asked me to come visit, so I decided, yeah, sure, let's do it.
So I've hung out with you. I had coffee with you once. You came over to my house and shot guns once.
Great.
I know a little bit about you. I know that you had a appliance repair business. I know that you no longer have an appliance repair business, or you sold it at least, kind of.
Owner finance, still managing it in a way. So
cool. And then now you own Multiply Digital Marketing, and so I think we should probably. It'd be cool to hear your full story. Like, I want to get to know you. I want the people that are watching this to get to know you.
Cool.
And then I want to talk to you about marketing because I think you have a unique perspective.
Thank you.
Is what I think from what I can see. So, plus you're like a personal Facebook page marketing master.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody market themselves with their personal Facebook page. Probably you and, do you know Josh Crouch?
Yeah, dude.
You and him both.
He's solid.
You guys are constantly in my feed. Love it. And I could not interact with your post for I don't know, months, and you're still in there. I'm like, what are these guys doing? I probably should do better at that. But
Love it.
So let's hear your story.
Yeah, dude.
Where were you born? What'd you do? How'd you get to this point?
Yeah, for sure, man. So born in central Louisiana, small town, country spot. Grew up not having much, man. Nobody around really had much. So really the only opportunities in town was either oil field or getting the trades.
By central Louisiana, what do you mean? Where?
Little old town called Gina, Louisiana. Jena? Yep.
Jena.
Yeah,
Gina,
absolutely.
Louisiana.
Way off on the sticks.
Right on. So you can go work in oil and what?
Yeah, oil field, or you could get in the trades.
Yeah.
Really wasn't much opportunity for a young dude like myself. So I jumped in the trades, right? Started out doing some electrical. I was like 14, 15 when I was a teenager. Had to make some money. Mm-hmm. So started out doing electrical helper, and then got moved over to HVAC helper, AC helper, helping out with some duct work and stuff.
Like in the summers, or did you skip high school and go do this?
No, I was working after school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I was living with my cousin in high school and stuff. Didn't have a whole lot of cash coming in. So yeah, I had to make some money. So when I was working in a nail salon at one point during high school, dude, 100% doing manis and petties. But hey, man, I had to make some money.
Yeah.
Then grocery store, and then of course got into electrical.
Did you have a beard back then?
Man, I didn't grow this beard till I was like 30 something. It's always been a tough try to grow a beard. So.
Right on. That's funny.
It'll never be as good as yours though.
No, mine just got this good. I had to make it to 40 before I could grow a beard.
Love it, dude. So yeah, man. Past that, went out, started doing some iron work on the road once I graduated high school. Wanted to make some more money, so they paid higher per diem, more hourly wages. We were put up metal airplane hangars, so the pay was greater.
Yeah,
a lot more dangerous, I guess. So that was awesome. Loved it. Kind of met my wife on Facebook, started chatting back and forth with her, and then I moved in with her very shortly after that and got off the road. Past that, I podunked around, found some little small jobs here and there, and then got back into this job that was an oil field type job, doing electronics, building remotely operated vehicles to go down and look at whatever oil field pipe and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Had a big layoff. It's Louisiana, right? So oil field hit hard, laid a bunch of people off. I was one of the ones. And so I had like $10K in my retirement at that point. So I pulled it, and me and my wife talked about it, and we decided to go ahead and move back up north, Louisiana, around more jobs. So I put in an application for Sears, man. A&E Factory Services, started working on appliances for those guys.
For Sears?
Yep, for Sears.
Is there even any Sears around?
They rebranded, I guess, as A&E Factory Services.
Oh, gotcha.
So you'll see those vans. I think they might have went back to Sears again.
Huh.
They might be doing some Sears stuff again in the house.
Yeah.
But that's really, I learned that's where most of the revenue comes from, is the repair side.
The repair side on the appliances.
Yep. So, yeah, started learning how to work on appliances, man. The first 6 months to a year, like they kind of like train you for 6 weeks and throw you out to the wolves, sink or swim way. Like, what you got?
Sounds like how I do.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we learn.
Yeah.
That's how we learn, man. Go out and fail forward. So anyway, did that, failed forward. Horrible experience. I was in the home, customers over my back. I was trying to learn how to fix these things, YouTubing, right? Trying to figure it out. Calling my mentor.
How old are you at this point?
At that point, I'm 28 to 30.
Gotcha. How old are you now?
37.
So this is like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe a little longer. Maybe I was a little younger. It was probably about eight years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of worked in oil field, other stuff, and then got into appliances 8 to 10 years ago, we'll call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Got into appliances. That was really hard. And like let me back up a little, because I already had a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit when I was working at the oil field company. Like me and my buddy started a company doing, we wanted to do landscaping. We didn't have any skills. So it was like, okay, let's try to do landscaping. And so we went and got a couple of shovels, man, and we was going to lay sod. That was going to be our first job. We found somebody, a family friend of mine, that was going to lay sod.
Yeah.
So we go to digging in, and the first thing we do is we start hitting some shells, because we're in South Louisiana, and it's all shells right under the grass.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do anything with it. We didn't know where to go from there. We was some young dudes, so I had to go in and tell them, look, we can't do this job. Y'all are going to have to hire a professional, and whatever. We laughed it off. I didn't do any type of business stuff like that for a while after that.
That's funny.
That kind of threw me off. But that didn't work out. And then also my buddy wanted to create an app. So I put a little bit of money into that, and that failed, of course, too.
What kind of app?
A truck design app. Like you could design what kind of rims you want on it, and like what kind of paint job. So, yeah.
You would create that app.
Man,
what kind of shoes you got on right now?
Stop, dude. I got my J's on.
Huh?
I got my Jordans on.
You're the only person I know that wears Jordans.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
all my friends wear Vans or.
Really?
I got a couple like friends that aren't very cool, and so they wear like those like ugly leather pointy-toed shoes, or like Joel. I'll dig him because he's not here. He wears toe socks. You ever meet anybody that wears toe socks?
I think my wife's got a pair.
Yeah, so he wears toe socks like every day, which is fine when he has his shoes on. So he wears these leather shoes that are flat with toe socks, and he'll come into your house and he'll take his shoes off. His shoes are okay. They kind of look kind of girly, but he comes into your house and he'll like put his feet up on your coffee table and he like wiggles his toes. I'm like, dude, you can't come to my house and wear toe socks. You got to go back outside. That's hilarious. It's gross.
You need to borrow a pair of socks, dude.
Yeah. Let's see your shoes.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. Those are sweet.
Yeah, you got the J's. Elephant skin.
Yeah.
I'm a country boy.
So did you like trucks growing up? Like, was that like a thing
I
you were
love
into?
trucks. I still do.
Yeah.
But the reason why I drive a luxury car now is because I grew up broke, bro, and nobody had anything nice, and I want that. I like that. I still wear my cowboy boots, and I still get muddy. But I like nice things too.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, man. So got laid off, went to North Louisiana, got an appliance repair job with Sears, hated it. 6 months in, I said, I'm done with appliance repair. I'm starting my own business. I want to be a business owner. So I started a pallet furniture design company. Pallets that you get from the behind Tractor Supply type. So, I started building some stuff. I built a patio set, sold it for $1,500. Built a kitchen set and sold it for $1,500, and I thought I was good to go. But the problem was it was my aunt that just won a lawsuit or whatever. So that's the only reason that I even made any money with this business.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, went back to work for Sears. Called my boss back. He was like, yeah, you can come back. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to stick this thing out this time. So rocked on, and I worked there for about a year and a half. And then I got in a bad financial situation, actually, making hourly wages. Like, I was making, I think, like $15.50 back then. My wife was working at a daycare making like $10, but we were broke, dude, and we had kids.
Yeah.
And it was really tough to live. So I really wanted to find a better way. My brother-in-law, he came along and he showed me a company called Primerica, which is life insurance and investments, and whatever you could work with them. And so I did, worked with them part-time, and I built some extra income on the side. I was still selling that in the house and stuff while I was working with Sears. But anyway, it went cool or whatever. I made some money and decided to move down south Louisiana again and build a big business down there, insurance business, but that didn't work out either. We did it, and yeah, so anyway, past that.
I want to know more about that. Like,
Okay, cool.
Like, it was life insurance, like, gosh, he's the big life insurance guy that's like, he's the big buff dude. He wrote the book One More.
I don't know.
Dude, we're going to find out.
I'm with it.
Who wrote the book One More? The Power of One More, Ed Milet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like you sold life insurance like
Yeah,
that?
sold life insurance, term life. I still have my policy or whatever, but yeah, I was selling insurance, man. The problem was, like, at that point, like, I was so broke and we was looking for a way out. We was living in a camper trailer in my dad's yard. Like, we was stuck. And, like, so I had to find a way out. Like, and that's why the life insurance, it ticked. And I was like, okay, like, this may be my way. At least I can make my own money at this point.
Yeah.
Like, at this point in life, I thought that I was only going to be an employee, and that was the only way for me, period.
Yeah.
And, like, I never knew a guy that didn't go to college could go out and make a lot of money. Like, I seen a couple of business owners around town, but they wasn't, whatever. Like, they wasn't building giant businesses. So anyway, I latched on to some mentors there with Primerica, and started self-improving a lot, like listening to hours a day of, like, people like Grant Cardone and whatever, Tony Robbins, things like that, and just trying to change my mindset.
Yeah.
And I would say it worked because it got me into learning more and more and more and being more hungry. So then I was really hustling, working like 16 hours a day, trying to sell insurance on the side and working my appliances. Yeah. And eventually I made enough to where a couple of months consistently I quit my job working appliances.
Cool.
And started selling insurance full time for 2 months. And then I was like, you know what? Broke again, going back to appliances. So I worked at an used appliance shop. And I was making $20 an hour and was working as much as he let me work, like 60 hours a week, and really just stacking up some money, man. And me and the guy in the back, my buddy Dre, he was wanting to quit too. You know, both of us wanted to be entrepreneurs, and so he was wanting to be a business owner too. So he had started doing his research and he found a lead generation company, and anyway, he started working with them and he seen that it was working, but he was scared to quit his job. To go work on appliances for himself. So I told him, I said, well, I'm ready to start, and I can't work with them because you're working with them. They're exclusive. So, hey, man, let me buy that contract from you. And I was like, okay. So I gave him $1,500 cash, and he got rid of the contract, stayed working his job, and I took it on. Yep. So I went on, paying for leads, dude.
I find that really funny.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
Cool. It's rad. You're more of an entrepreneur than I thought you were going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like total like entrepreneur move. You saw an opportunity.
I figured you would like that.
You saw the other guy wanted some cash, and you were like, I got a little bit of cash, so here's your cash. I'll take the opportunity.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't have any cash. I borrowed it from a friend.
Even more entrepreneurial, dude. That's like the move.
Yeah, dude. Other people's money.
I like that. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, dude. I did that, and it worked for a while, and so I talked to my brother-in-law. He was still working selling insurance. I was like, dude, let's build a giant appliance repair business. Like, I want to build $1 million appliance repair business. Let's go. And so he was like, okay. I said, but we're not going to do it here in Louisiana. We're moving. And so we did. We packed up our families. Both of us moved into one house in North Carolina to the Triangle. We moved to Fayetteville, and we wanted to work Raleigh and Charlotte and build a giant business in between.
So this is like what year?
This is right when COVID hit.
Right when COVID hit.
Right when COVID hit, we moved.
Cool. Right on. Which was a good time or a bad time for you?
Looking back now, it was amazing. I'm glad it happened then. But then, no, it was horrible, dude. It was a horrible idea. You know, everybody was freaking out. Everybody was scared. We was masked up. We were in everybody's house.
Yeah.
It was weird. But cool thing is, like, a lot of other people, like a lot of other appliance repair companies was scared too.
Yeah.
So we was going out and getting it because we had to go get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
You had nothing to lose.
nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, dude, lead generation. We paid for some lead generation from there. The leads got really, really expensive when we moved to North Carolina, and we couldn't afford them anymore.
Like, so this company you paid to get leads, where were they getting leads from?
They were just posting ads with a fake company name, just a lead generation. I mean, they're literally city name, the niche, and then running ads.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then they sell them back to you.
Sell them to me. Yep.
Interesting.
And then I would go out and, yeah.
And so how do you know how much they cost? Like, what do they do?
At that point?
They just mark them up a certain percentage?
That's
or
the
what?
crazy part, dude. You wouldn't even know exactly how much it was. You would pay a monthly bill, and you would ask what it is per lead, and they would just tell you it varies. You would get a monthly bill, and you wouldn't know how much your leads are. They're still doing it to people. The same company is. But anyway, yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was the reason we found out that we couldn't afford them because we was going broke. Like, we was closing a lot of the leads, but we were still going broke.
Yeah.
So I gave it one last run, and I asked them to front me a week of leads, see what we could do, you know, and it crashed. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was, yeah, it just would never work.
That's got to be a tough business too, because you're repairing a piece of equipment that could be replaced.
Oh yeah, hard to sell that.
And so did you?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, in plumbing and pressure washing and electrical, it's like we'll repair it or replace it, and it's going to be expensive no matter what. Like, we can offset the. Like, did you install appliances as well? Would you go get them a new one?
I wouldn't go get them, but if they had them, I would install them. I did installs, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I do have a lot of friends that have appliance shops too, and that do both.
Well, like, did you get a hold of my neighbor, Justin Deese?
No, I hadn't talked to Justin yet.
Yes.
I ran out of town. I had to run out of town. I hadn't got back with him, but I need to.
I'm going to have him on here because he didn't do appliance repair. He only did installations.
Oh, yeah.
And so he partnered with like Home Depot, Lowe's, all those guys. And he would hire guys, and he just said, your cut is this when you go install it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a performance pay.
Sure.
It's really like a piece rate pay kind of deal. And he still has that business.
It's a great business
He's had
model.
it forever. He said it just prints cash. He doesn't even have to think about it.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I want to hear more about it.
No, it's definitely nice.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, dude. So what I was doing, like, so couldn't afford leads, was broke. So at that point we were zeroed out. I had my brother-in-law and my sister working with me, but they had to stop. They had to go somewhere else and go to work and make some more money somewhere else. So it was just me. So at that point I was zeroed out, no money left in North Carolina, no family, no friends.
And you're married?
Married.
Kids?
3 now.
Yeah.
3 kids now.
Yeah.
I got a teenager and got 2 littles. So got dogs. So yeah, we were struggling. At one point, I went and plugged into the neighbor's outlet outside, ran it to my inside of my house to run the heater at night. All of us gather in the living room so we could stay warm.
Yeah.
I borrowed money I could to like pay rent and stuff from, like I said, like family and friends. Most people don't have a lot of money back home.
Yeah.
So I only could borrow so much. And then like I was stuck, literally like was stealing groceries from the grocery store.
Dang.
For a small period of time. So that was tough. It was tough for my wife that I had to do some weird crap like that, but it didn't have to. I guess I did it anyway. But I learned how to do marketing, man, from there. I couldn't keep living like that. So like I learned how to do Google Business Profile, how to do SEO. Just zeroed in on YouTube for a while, and then linked up with a dude that gave me a lot more knowledge from there, and then started posting in the Facebook groups all the time. Like if I'll be driving down the road, see a neighborhood, I pull over, find their neighborhood on the Facebook groups app, like on the Facebook groups, find the neighborhood, join it, say I'm a neighbor, that I live there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then from there, I would take old appliances, all off marketplace, people that was selling them. I would bring them in my garage, fix them, and then sling them, sell them. So I was making money that way.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to a couple local business owners and said, look, I don't want to come work for you, bro, for an hourly pay, but I want to take a percentage. Really good at sales in the home. I'll sell the hell out of these repairs and make you a lot of money. Will you hire me? And I got a job doing 30% of the job. So, yeah, I got paid 30% of the job. So that was cool.
Cool.
Until I sold like 2 days worth, and then he bumped me to 50%.
Nice.
So that was cool. So now we had some cash to roll. So then, man, I would run like 2 or 3 calls a day, and I'd push some calls off, some that feel like they would take up a lot of time or something. I'd push them back to him, tell him I got to focus. So I get down in my garage, man, and get on the computer and just learn SEO and learn how to build websites, learn social media, try to learn how to build ads.
Yeah.
Like, and then eventually SEO started working. 4 to 6 months in, thank God my competition wasn't no real badasses or anything, because I was ranking in the top 3 of the maps, dude, and had loads of calls, like more than I could ever want. So like I fell in love with the results that marketing brought me.
Yeah.
From there, dude, like I seen other guys in the plant repair groups like struggling to get calls, and it's a lower tier niche, I guess you would say. So anyway, I just didn't want people to struggle like I was having a struggle. I wanted to offer them opportunities. So I knew I wanted to do marketing for these guys.
Yeah.
Like I fell in love with the results. So I knew like I had to get somebody else to run these calls. So like I reached out, looked on Indeed, looked for technicians. Nobody had experience, dude. Like, and I didn't feel like training nobody because I had a plan. And so I reached out to a couple of business owners that were lower than the top 3, right? And reached out to them, asked them if they wanted to run some calls, sub some calls, sell them the calls. And I found a couple of guys. And one of the guys that I was working for before, he took some jobs too. So then I could.
So you became the company selling the leads.
I started selling the leads.
Yeah, right on.
Started selling them. $63 a lead.
Would you have had that idea if you hadn't bought leads from that other company?
That's what I was telling my wife earlier, man. If this wouldn't have played out the way it did, we would never be here.
That's super funny.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But yep. And he was the main reason why I was able to get out of the truck. So yeah, just started selling the leads, and then I started that model with appliance repair guys, selling leads, but I couldn't do that at scale.
Yeah. How come? What
Just,
happens?
well, number one, I got some money that I'm spending on ads. So you times that times 10, and I didn't have the cash to upfront that.
Right.
For the ads.
Yep.
And then, of course, I was answering the calls, and I was selling booked calls. So they weren't just leads. They were booked calls. They were already on the schedule for them. So
is that what that other company did for you or no?
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Cool.
I had a feeling that that guys would love what I was doing, and I was trying to get some sales. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And you were selling those for $63 a pop, a booked call?
$63 per book call.
I'd take that any day.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, and now, man, we just we don't have a large business, a huge marketing business. We're growing. I think we got like 30 to 40 clients right now. And we just we got a good solid team. And I want to keep it personable. We don't do a whole lot of ads. We're trying to figure out some algorithms for ads for us, but we crush it with our offers with clients. But it's just weird. B2B is totally different. So anyway,
it is totally different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you basically went through it, and you basically struggled until you found something and then stuck with it long enough, and that thing kind of changed your life.
That's exactly what happened, dude. And really believed in the Lord and pushing me through that process.
Yeah. So then how did you end up in Pensacola? Like at what point? How did that happen?
Yeah, for sure, man. So we were up in North Carolina, and we done got straight, we got our money up. We was right, and got old debts paid, and got tired of driving back and forth 12 hours to Louisiana, number one. So we wanted to get closer to family because we loved our family a lot, man, and we missed all of our family and friends. So we wanted to get closer. And our daughter also, of course, she moved back to Louisiana too. So we kind of wanted to get closer to her. But main thing is we wanted to get closer to family, but we wasn't going back to Louisiana. We wanted to live by the most beautiful beaches in the country, bro.
Yeah.
Pensacola.
Yeah.
So anyway, we just we wanted to live in paradise, dude, and so we moved here.
Nice.
Yeah. What brought you to
Me?
Pensacola? Yeah.
So
what
I
made you
moved here
decide?
because and I didn't know this at the time, but so I moved here. I didn't know where I was going. We left Alaska. I was in Montana, plumbing my dad's house. He was building a house on Flathead Lake, big giant place. I don't know why he built such a big place, but he couldn't get anybody there to plumb it. So I flew down like the summer before and did all the underground and everything for him. And then they, over the winter, framed the house. And I went back and I plumbed their house. And we'd spent like a couple months the previous winter in in Phoenix and Flagstaff, rented an RV. Me and my wife went there for a little bit and rented an RV and did a bunch of mountain biking. And
Cool.
it's freaking awesome. I love Phoenix.
Yeah, I bet.
But then we went back when it was a little colder, and we went to Flagstaff and we were snowboarding at the mountain in Flagstaff. And I got on the ski lift with this guy and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? What you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm just, having a blast." I'm like, "Where do you live?" And he goes, "Phoenix." And I said, "Tell me about the summers there." And he goes, "Dude, it's freaking miserable."
I bet.
And, because it's like 130 degrees. And he's like telling me, like, I don't go outside. If I want to go outside, I got to go out before the sun comes up, or it's just miserable.
Wow, dude.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can handle that being from Alaska.
Right?
And so we were at my parents' house and we were thinking about moving to Vegas because Vegas is still kind of deserty. It's got a bunch of biking trails.
That's really close to where your dad's at.
Kind of, yeah. Big climbing scene. I grew up on the West Coast. I'm familiar with the West Coast. Yeah. Like this southern humidity and southern people and southern culture is all weird to me.
Yeah.
And we were actually driving. Well, we put an offer in on a house here in Pensacola because Joel's wife, she was the first CSR that I ever hired, my first employee I ever hired, actually. And she said, "You guys should look at Pensacola. I always wanted to move there." And I wanted Joel and Ayla to move wherever I moved because Joel was working for me at the time and I wanted him to be here in person so we could work together and build something together.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, let's look in Pensacola. And this was like right when the big housing boom was going off. Mm-hmm. And so people were putting, cash offers above and beyond asking price. There were bidding wars happening.
Everybody was trying to get here.
Yeah. And I said, let's just just whatever they're asking, that's what we're going to offer. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we'll go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And so we're driving south out of Montana towards Vegas, and we get the call, "Hey, you got the house." And I was like, turned left, ended up in Pensacola, came down here, couldn't get in our house at the time. It was we hadn't closed yet. And so we stayed out on the beach, and it was like 98 degrees, and I don't know, felt like 110% humidity. And I'm in my cotton jeans, my cotton boxers, my cotton hats, my cotton t-shirts, cotton socks, cotton shoes. And I'm walking out there on the beach and I am just getting like drenched. And I told my wife, I was like, we messed up. Like this isn't going to happen. There's no way.
We ain't going to make it.
I'm not going to make it. She's loving it.
Yeah?
She loves it, man.
Come on.
Just loves the heat, loves the humidity, loves the sun, loves the beach.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we screwed up. Anyway, I got used to it, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we ended up down here. And the funny thing is that the part that I didn't know at the time, Ayla didn't always want to move here. She had just found out that she likes the band Manchester Orchestra. Have you ever listened to them? Mm-mm. They're terrible. They're awful.
I'll save you
some heartache. They're awful. Anybody listen if you like Manchester Orchestra? We can't be friends. But she liked them, and the singer is from here.
Okay.
And that's why she said, "Oh, I always wanted to move to Pensacola." It was a bunch of crap.
That's hilarious.
So we kind of all moved here, just because of this one stupid thing that Ayla said.
That is wild.
So now I live here, like me and my wife and my kids. My son at the time I think he was like 20 when we moved down here. He was living in Alaska still. He's here now.
Okay.
You just met him. He's the guy in the office.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then my daughter obviously moved with us because she was young. And then our best friends moved down here. Oh, sorry. Joel and Ayla moved here. And then some of our other friends, Alex and Marcy Bourne, moved down here. And then my wife's brother moved down here.
What?
So now my wife's parents are thinking about moving down here.
That is crazy.
So we got like a bunch of people here.
The whole squad.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
That
All
is really
here
cool.
because Ayla said, "Oh, I always wanted to move there," and I wanted to make her jealous.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's a funny story, but I like it here. It's cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool spot.
No, it definitely is, man.
It's close to everything. It's warm.
Yep.
It's not too cold.
Yep.
It's only too hot for like a few months. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it's not like ridiculous hot.
Yep.
It's hot, but it's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I really do love it. We went to the Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah.
A little while ago. And I've been to Mardi Gras in Louisiana.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. On Mardi Gras, on Bourbon Street.
Is it nuts?
Dude, it is crazy. I'll never go back. Never go back. But this was like super clean.
Yeah.
Like everybody's not wasted falling all over you. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen Mardi Gras done so clean.
Yeah.
And it was a huge crowd. So
It's because you're in like
love Pensacola, dude.
South. Everybody's Baptist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's like 1 million Baptist churches.
It is.
Every corner is a Baptist church.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it here too.
So do I.
Cool.
Did you
Love
see
it.
the dude wash truck in the parade?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a video of it. I was hot. Hey, dude.
We ran out of beads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put Ayla in charge of getting beads. Hopefully she watches this.
It was so many people, dude. It was probably easy to run out of beads fast.
She got like 1,000 beads, and I told her, "You're gonna run out." And she goes, "No."
Yeah.
And I said, "All right, you can't buy any more, and we're gonna have a bet, and I'm betting you're gonna run out."
How fast did she run out?
Oh, they ran out quick.
Yeah.
I think they were like, here you go. Here's a bead.
One.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it, dude.
Yep. It was funny. So we need to order like 10,000 beads next year.
God.
Yeah.
Well, y'all had the freshest vehicle in the parade. So.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny to me how like nobody down here, like I thought Alaska was behind the times with like branding and marketing your company and customer service and things like that. And then I came here. It's like they're even further behind than Alaska. Mm-hmm. And like Alaska's probably like, 5, 6, 7 years behind, the kind of some of these bigger cities. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we would go, when we lived in Alaska, we'd go to Seattle. Seattle, you see branded trucks.
Yeah.
Even when I went to Phoenix, there were a bunch of white trucks running around, but there was a lot of big branded companies
Sure.
doing really well for themselves. And you don't see that here in Pensacola.
No.
Nobody, when I moved down,
Not yet.
when I,
That's gonna help. Seeing Dude Wash around is really gonna help people with Brandon, I think.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But it's funny because I came down here and I want to talk to you about marketing because you market these small appliance repair businesses. They probably don't have a lot of money. So you probably got to get a little bit creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first came down here, well, not when I first came down here, when we started up Dude Wash, I had the truck sitting at my house and I just bought a new house and one of my neighbors came over to say hi and he has a concrete business. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I told him I just started a pressure washing business. He's like, you got a business card? And I'm like, what? Who uses business cards?
This is my business card.
Yeah, my brother does that too. I'm not techie enough. But so I'm like, man, dude, you can literally just Google my company. So he gave me his business card. The dude isn't on Google. I was like, this guy relies on business cards. And what's crazy is that everybody I interact with, they're like, do you got a business card? I'm like, dude, if I give you a business card, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
How about you just remember it's Dude Wash because it's pretty easy to remember, and then you Google it on your phone. We're on the internet, dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I can Google a company? I'm like, yeah, that's how this works.
We are behind the times down here a little bit.
It's crazy to
I
me.
think. But what's crazier, Jared, is we just came back from Mississippi or whatever. We went to Brandon, Mississippi for a fishing trip a couple weeks before we went to a fishing trip too. But the Brandon gets worse and worse as you go that way. And when you cross into Louisiana, dude, it's just like all the signs are like dingy, grays, browns.
I just drove through Mississippi. I thought it was bad. Louisiana.
I mean,
worse.
you're noticing. Oh, dude, it
Yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. And like nothing's updated. You don't see any branded vehicles. I mean, the best you see is somebody's phone number and like lawn care. I mean, I guess there's some bigger companies there that's trying to do better. But yeah, dude, as far as majority, like we're way behind the times down here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I started talking to, other business owners, and they're like, Pensacola's a little different. We're very word of mouth. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is it really word of mouth here, or is it just that nobody advertises?
Yeah.
And so it has to be word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Nobody does. The only people in town that advertise are lawyers.
Yeah.
That's it.
That
Like
makes
all the
sense,
billboards
dude.
are
Wow.
lawyers and
you-
then dude wash. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
No, I mean, I get that, and I think that they're going to have to change that if they want to keep competing, because everybody wants to come to Florida now, and the rest of Florida's filling up, and Pensacola's not all the way full yet.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to tighten up if they want to stay relevant. I think most business owners around here.
I think so.
Yeah.
To me, I saw opportunity. Just go in and just,
Competition was probably light.
it's super light. It's very, very light. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But honestly, like if you look at most places, there are some places with more population with these bigger, well-established companies. But even then, you can find little pockets, little areas that they don't serve. You can go throw a shop there. You can go put a GMB there. And you can
3 to 15 mile radius, man. You could hit it hard.
And that's the thing, like people don't understand how few customers it takes to make millions of dollars. Yeah, dude. So
Right
like
here in your neighborhood.
yeah, I mean, in my plumbing business in Fairbanks, Alaska, there's 33,000 homes. We served 10% of that market and did 6 million last year. We served 3,300 customers.
That's strong, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can advertise pretty cheaply to a 30,000 person market.
Yeah.
And grew a pretty decent sized company.
For
Granted,
sure.
we did plumbing and heating. That probably helped, but
Yeah.
you could probably do 2 million in plumbing, maybe 3, and then go expand from there.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
In just one small area.
So the hard part about pressure washing is that like everybody, there's 2 things that are hard. It's harder to market because everybody needs a plumber, right? At some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody gets their house washed. Not everybody wants to hire somebody else to do their house wash. More people do their own house wash
They'd
than do
rather
their
buy
own
a
plumbing,
pressure washer.
right? Yeah, because it's not as giant of a skill set.
And you don't have to do it as often. Is that part of it, maybe?
You got to do it every 2 to 3 years, depending on your home, where it is, that kind of stuff, how clean you
So
want
it's
it to
not
look.
the same as an appliance would break. I mean,
Yeah,
is it more of creating a need?
it is. So, and we learned a lot we did a home show and we set up a booth and I went
seen
there and I was there every day for the whole show. And, because I wanted to hear what the customers were saying. And it was super funny because I didn't know what my message should be out to the marketplace. It's like, yeah, we pressure wash, but like, what benefit does that provide to our customer? And like, what are their pain points? And I know their pain points when they call another company. The other companies don't answer their phone. I know that because I called them all. None of them answered their phone. They come out with rinky-dink equipment and don't do as good of a job. And then they're just really hard to deal with because they don't know how to schedule and communicate to customers. Right?
Professionalism's down.
Yeah, way down. So we got them there. But I was like, what is going through my customers' heads that I can talk to them and like make that connection and make them want to hire me? So it's super interesting sitting at that booth and watching like husbands and wives come into the home show. They would walk across and they would turn the corner and they'd be coming down to our booth, and I could watch the wife looking at our booth like all excited, and I could see the husband like look over and be like, I don't need that stuff. I got a pressure washer.
Man.
And like not let his wife stop at the booth. And then the
And
funniest
how
thing,
bad she was wanting to.
yeah. And then the funniest thing that happened was we would either make them stop, and it was the wife who would come talk to us, and the husband would like kind of stay off in the distance. But it was always like the dude's like, nah, I got a pressure washer. The wife was like, oh, we can get the house cleaned. And so I'm like, man, I need to be talking to these women with, hey, your husband is never going to get to the house cleaning. Give your husband his weekend back. Like, let him crack a beer and sit in the lawn chair. We'll come wash your house. And then you don't got to wait on your lazy husband anymore.
That's the pain point, huh?
And then to the dudes, we need to be talking like, hey, man, you like get your weekend back. Like, go out fishing and doing whatever else you want to do. Go watch the sports game. We'll clean your house while you're doing it. So it was cool to watch that.
Because it sucks having a pressure wash when you could be fishing.
Well, like these guys, they go out and they buy these little Home Depot pressure washers, and it takes them like 12 hours to clean their house. And then they don't even do that good of a job. So then they got to do it again in like 6 months or 12 months. Whereas when we come do it, we use chemical and we kill everything. So it lasts longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of, bro, I need to get y'all out at my house. I ain't booked an
$1 million.
appointment, but I need it.
$1 million. We
Need
got
it.
you covered. We'll give you $1 million discount.
Can't afford it. Yeah, I'll pay.
Yeah.
Love
It's,
it. And you didn't even have to sell to my wife. So
Oh, dang.
I'm not even your market.
yeah. Yeah. You just don't want to do it.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually sitting here thinking about, God, I have it on my list to go to Lowe's and buy a small pressure washer.
Oh, yeah,
I
screw
better
that.
hire Jared to do it.
Yeah. We'll come out and whip it out.
Yeah, need that.
Yeah.
Cool. Love
Yeah.
it, dude.
There's it was cool watching the interactions of the customers.
Yeah.
The funny part was like how many of those would walk by and then the wife would come back. Or how many of those would walk by and then the husband would come back and he would say, you know, I didn't want to stop here at first, but because we were giving away free house washes, he'd say, but if I win one, that means I don't have to do it. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Get your weekend back.
Yes.
So it was cool to learn that. Yeah.
I love that. And you got a lot of people stopping for that free
We did.
wash, right?
Yep. Yeah, we got a ton. Collected
that,
their
dude.
name, phone number, email address. Now they're getting emails. We called them all. We'll probably text them again.
You didn't win, but hey, we can help you out with. Are you giving them a discount?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Another $100 off. Yep.
Love it, dude.
Yep. It's the way to go.
That's what works.
So let's talk about this because you market appliance repair businesses. Who else will you market for?
Yeah, dude, we got some HVAC clients. I just brought on a soft wash company.
Oh, cool.
Really cool guy. He also has a roof restoration business to where he comes on and sprays like this oily type substance, and it will give it its flexibility back, and that's a pretty cool thing too. Just started marketing for that business of his as well.
Oh, cool.
And then we also I think we still have an electrical business, and yeah, so I don't have any plumbers yet, but
Cool.
I know all about the trade. I was a plumber's helper at once, so I know a little bit about
Nice.
the lingo too.
Nice.
No, but yeah, man, we help all home service businesses. Really, my brother-in-law has a wrap business, a wrap design for like personal vehicles and company vehicles. Crushing it for him right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we built a new offer out and a new ad for him, and yeah, killing it.
Cool.
So yeah,
So let's say dude starts up a new appliance repair business and he wants to get jobs. What does he need to do?
yeah, for sure. So number one, on his end,
Yeah.
while we're building everything out, I need him to go into every community Facebook group there is, go add himself to them, and be posting there every day.
Every day.
Every day.
What do you post?
Hey, man, we work on appliances. Service fees $99. It's free with the repair. 1 year part warranty. 60-day labor warranty. We can get you on the schedule same day.
Do you give them
call
like
me.
a script to post?
I'll build an offer for them if they need an offer. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll definitely. Yeah, scripts. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. We build scripts.
So how do you find these? Like, how do you find the groups? Can you go search for them?
Yeah, for sure. So if, like I said earlier, if you're just driving by, whatever, you're going to a call, you see a neighborhood group sign out front of the neighborhood, stop and check it out on Facebook groups. See if there's a group for it. It may be 20 people in it.
Yeah.
But if you post there, that post may stay at the top for 10 days. If it's a small group,
Yeah.
and if it's a medium-sized group, people's going to see it too. If you post in a giant group, it's going to get covered up fast. But it's still important to post in those too, because more people will see it when it's time to see it. So they need to be doing that, number one, getting as much attention as they can, hitting the Nextdoor app, posting on their personal page. They got a lot of personal people that they know. They can also do what I've seen you talk about and what I've done before too is when you move into a new city, I had to do the same thing, go into groups, adding people as friends, interacting with people, showing value in the groups.
Yeah.
That gets the community buzzing. And then once some customers do start coming from those groups, those customers are going to go back and talk to those people in the group and tell them how reliable you are.
Yeah.
And they're also going to vouch for you when you post in the group too.
Yeah.
So that's very important. That's what they can be doing on their own. But past that, what we'll do is we'll get a competition analysis together for them. We'll find out what the competition is doing. We'll do more of it. We'll do it better. We'll do it faster. Past that, dude, we're going to find out what the market's looking for in that area because sometimes it differs. You may have this podunk country town that they may want something a little different than something in Houston. And
When you say that, what do you mean?
yeah, so you see a lot of the smaller towns, small town feel or whatever. They just may like, I don't know, hey, my name is Marcus, and I'm just here to serve the community. They might like a post like that.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, just small town feel.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, so we'll come in and find out what they like. And then past that, dude, we're going to zero in on their SEO, which is their Google Business Profile, their website. Want to build out some service pages. And SEO takes a while to rank usually, right?
Yeah.
6 months to a year for some top tier keywords. Sometimes if you're in a bigger city, sometimes a year to 2 years to 3 years for one keyword.
Yeah.
So you're definitely wanting to hit certain keywords or be ranking different keywords all at the same time. Some SEO companies will only target 3 keywords at a time or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to rank for the ones that you want to rank for, and we're going to do them all now.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get started on them now. Past that, dude, SEO is very, very important. Like 90% of your customers are going to probably come from Google and home services. When people ship breaks, they don't go to Facebook and look for services usually.
Yeah.
They go to Google.
Yeah.
Unless they got a buddy that's been promoting on Facebook that they just remember from branding, right?
Right.
And they hit it. So 6 months to a year, usually a year to 2 years, depending on what city for SEO and what your competition is doing. But in the meantime, like we like to get some quick wins for them. So that's like meta ads, Google ads, local service ads, some quick things that we like to do that's working these days on meta ads, customer testimonials, like video testimonial.
Yeah.
30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds. Got a little script. We actually give our clients a script and a guide how to ask the customer for it, and then a script to give the customer so that they can look over it. And get the testimonial. So it makes it flawless and makes it easier. I created this in the house when I was working on appliances. So I know it flows well. So I think that's important.
And you run those so you said Facebook ads, Google local service ads. Let's talk about all 3 because
Love it.
okay. So Facebook ads, a testimonial works well. Like what are you running that ad? Like what kind of ad is that? Is that a awareness ad? Are you running it as a lead ad, a traffic ad?
Just
what are you
some
doing
social
there?
proof. There's no call to action. This is just us. This is what we do. This is the work we do. This is the problem that we solve and the way that we solve it. This lady's really happy. She's excited.
Yeah.
So that right there, it's just an authority type post.
And do you like when you're building that? Do you run it as an awareness ad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, and don't get it twisted. I'm not physically doing the ads for these people. We have a team that does it.
Yeah.
I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
But
You got your
awareness
Facebook
ad
guy,
would probably be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, another thing that's working with meta ads too, giveaways are great. Like you just talked about, that you was giving a free wash away. I think that's awesome. Giving stuff away, it's going to get the buzz going. Hey, like this thing, or come like my page, share the post and tag 3 friends. And if you do that, you're entered in to win. We'll be giving it away April 2nd. I'll only message the winner so you don't have scams coming in, right? Saying, hey, you won, because it's happened. So anyway, giveaways are huge. So local service ads is big too. I think it's awesome. It's like a duplicate Google Business Profile.
Dude, I can never get mine to pop. Never.
Well, it's cycled. There are a couple of tweaks that we can make or whatever. Like tricking Google with the budgets, good. Like I put that I'm going to spend 30 million this week. Like I don't know, but it seems to help. So
I've always set my budgets like real high, like
Yeah.
10 grand a week, 20 grand a week, 100 grand a week. I don't care.
Yeah, keep
if you
them
give
high.
me a lead and it's under $200, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Send me as many as you can. I'll hire guys until I can,
Yeah.
fulfill the need. But so like in Alaska, we were the only Google local certified, like we were the only ones with a green check mark.
Cool.
It was lame because at the time it wasn't tied to your GMB and the reviews were separate. And so we'd built up like 800 reviews on our GMB and our Google local service. We got like 7.
You could just call them and tell them to merge it, huh?
Not back then.
Not back then. That was when they first started the testing.
Eventually
on
we
it.
did. And so they would show our 7 review GLSA with a green check mark next to other people that had like 120 reviews, but no green check mark. And I don't think, I mean, we got maybe like 7 calls a month from them.
Yeah.
Like max.
Yeah.
Down here with pressure washing, I think everybody else's, their main lead flow is probably GLSA. And I don't know, we get like, 10, 15 leads a month.
Really?
Is it? And I'll play with my budgets. I've set them at super high. I've set them at super low.
There ain't much you could do about that, dude. I mean, it's
No.
it's just cycles everybody. It just gives everybody a turn.
Yeah.
Depending on what they're spending.
I wish they'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's lame to cycle it. I think the guy who's willing to pay more should get
ranked.
more.
Yeah, you damn right. I like that.
Like the guy who's willing to put in the time, effort, and money should get the reward
Yeah.
instead of just cycling through and giving everybody a chance. To me, that's like giving everybody a award at the end of a baseball game or something.
Dude, no, I get it 100%.
Yeah.
But I think they got to have some place to play. Like where the brokies going to play, Jared?
Well, I mean, it's got to be making Google more money,
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. It's either got to be a better experience for the customer or they're making more money.
And the
I would
lead
imagine.
costs keep going up. So,
They
I
do.
mean, they locking us in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Kind of like with the regular Google ads too, right?
Yeah.
They're high too. So,
So, like when you say regular Google ads, like pay-per-click ads.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yep. PPC ads, yeah, they're expensive too.
So, what do you see? Like, I know for a lot of people, like pay-per-click has been a really tough thing lately. This last, I don't know, probably year, it's been a expensive thing.
I've heard a ton about private equities coming in and just
Yeah.
burning people down with the big budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty tough. I don't have any direct clients dealing with it, like
Yeah.
with private equities coming into their area, but I know a lot of people that is.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably part of what's driving the budget. And like if it's say New York and you got, I don't know, like say 16 private equity companies all going for an HVAC ad or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just going to be tougher with
Yeah.
bigger budgets. So
Yeah. So I see everybody's ads. I see a lot of people's pay-per-click campaigns. And I see like Fairbanks, Alaska, we were like, I don't know, 215 to 280 to get a call
really,
per phone call. Guys in like Chicago, they're up 315, 360. It's almost not even worth it at some point, you know.
God,
You got to be really good at converting those phone calls and really good at booking those jobs, really good at selling those jobs and creating massive average tickets.
yeah,
Otherwise, you ain't going to make it.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a hard field to play on if you ain't got it.
Yes. Yep. And I think the plumbing and HVAC side of it it's getting harder because everybody's seeing the
Bigger
money in it.
players.
Yeah. And there's getting bigger players in it. So it's getting harder you really got to be on your game.
I don't think it's going to be like that for Dude Wash and appliance repair right now.
So what's crazy with Dude Wash, like we've only been running PPC for like 3 months. The first month was kind of a whatever. We just spent money. I don't think we got any calls. Second month.
And was that the goal, Jared? Were
What's
you
that?
running ads
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
create authority?
Just to learn.
Okay.
Just to get Google to
Yeah,
learn.
absolutely. Cool.
They were like, look, we can take 3 to 6 months on a small budget to get Google to learn, and I said, yeah, burn money, get it to learn. Like I got money, I don't have time.
Yeah.
So let's spend the money.
Yeah.
And
Let's learn now.
yeah, exactly. So then last month we got we were down to $100 a phone call. And I was like, quadruple that budget, like as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Please.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's lifetime for you? What's the lifetime value of a customer for you with Dude Wash, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't really know because we haven't been in business long enough. With Prospector, we could pay, 60% of our customer base was return customers. Mm-hmm. So we were really good at selling memberships and then retaining customers year after year after year after year.
Yep.
And so if you looked at our schedule at any given time, we would tag our members with a gold club.
Okay.
And probably 60% of the jobs would have a gold club tag. And so we only had to purchase 40% of our customers. Well, 50% of those customers, we just got through good branding, which was relatively cheap. And so we only had to get 20% of our customers or 25% of our customers from pay-per-click.
Okay.
And so if 15% of our average ticket, let's say our average ticket was like $2,500,
mm-hmm.
and let's say our marketing budget's at 10%, I could spend $250 to get that person, but in reality, I can spend $1,000 to get a customer, and I might not be profitable with just that one customer. When you spread it across the board, I got them.
Yeah,
and so we spent whatever it took to get customers. Yeah. We never got to $1,000
right now.
Yeah. And it took us, and then you think about lifetime value. I know with Prospector, before I sold it, I ran the math, and granted, we were only 4 years old, but it was like $3,800 of lifetime gross profit. So that was after the labor and materials were paid out. So you do that math, and now I'm 10% of that. Like if I want my budget to be 10%, I'm at $380 times 4 that I could spend to get a customer.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend a lot of money to buy a customer now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of people think about, they're so worried about what's my marketing budget as a percentage.
That's strong, bro.
Is it 5%? Is it 10%? And I hear guys on podcasts all the time. They're like, if your marketing budget is, above 15%, that's nuts. I'm like, but I think the more important metric is, what does it cost me to acquire a customer? What's your CAC?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've got the money and you want to spend it to acquire customers, go for it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to double your business,
yep.
And
how fast do you want to grow, right?
Yeah. And you've got the money, and you're not going to be profitable that year because you spent all your money acquiring customers, but the following year you're going to get a 60% return rate. And you're going to be able to spend less on marketing and make a butt ton more money. I'll play that game all day long.
Yep.
And I don't understand why people think about marketing just as like percent. Oh. And then, another thing that kind of gets to me with marketing is, you see these guys with, I don't know, $50 million, $100 million shops, and they're like, my marketing budget's down to 4%.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course it is, dude. 4% of 100 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? So, they're spending $4 million a year on marketing. It's like, yeah, you could make that go a long ways.
Sure.
And then even them think about, you're doing a $100 million shop. If you can be at a 50% return customer rate, and then if you got a good brand and 50% of those customers are just coming from your brand awareness,
yeah,
you don't have to spend a lot to get customers.
Mm-mm.
So the ones that have the hardest time now, and I see it even with building Dude Wash, like I'm spending a ton of money on marketing,
mm-hmm.
and I am not recouping, right? Because I want to grow fast, and I want to spend the money, and I don't want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
But man, for these guys who are starting out, and they don't have a big budget, they don't have a ton of money, they got to get scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get like down and dirty.
Yep.
Go put some effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree, dude. I would say that I felt like it was all in for me. It was all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely spend all I had on marketing just to make sure that, hey, this thing works for sure. Like in a couple of months, we know for a fact, like we'll be okay. So
yeah.
Like I'll spend it all. I'll spend it all though. I don't care.
Yep.
Spending every bit of it.
Yeah, that's how I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked for 6 months by myself. It was the third time I started my company. First 2 times I shut it down because I didn't make any money. But the third
Really?
time
Wow. So you still went for a third run. Good job, dude.
I had to.
Hell bent.
I was miserable. Like when I was working for other people, I was not a fun person to be around. I was tired of it, man. And I was like 34 years old, and I just kept thinking like, I got to do this for another 28 years. I was working out of the Union Hall, and full retirement was 62, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna make it. There's no way. There's no way I can do this that long. Like I'm gonna have to find something else to do. So I would like go on my phone and go to Indeed and just like see what's available. I was like, I got to do something different. We always lived like pretty simple. So I had a real small house. My wife worked. All our cars were paid off. Real low bills. And I always believed that like simplicity was the way to go.
I did too.
And so I always strive for like simplicity. And if it was complex, I was like, no, I don't want it. And it kind of served me well in a sense, but at that time, I didn't know that I didn't have this idea of like life by design, like that you can like think and dream of something and then go make it happen. The idea of that was totally foreign to me. I didn't grow up with that.
Same.
Yeah. And so when I started to realize like, man, I could go and like make my way in this world, and I can go when I started to see that happen, like, oh, I dreamt this up literally like 6 months ago. And now I'm here. This is crazy.
There's power in that, dude.
Yeah. And so then I would dream up another thing, but I would always dream real small. So I'd dream just like the next step. And it would be like the first one was like, I want to get a shop and hire an employee. And so I worked by myself for 6 months. I put a ton of money away. And then I got a shop and I hired an employee and I got another van. And then it was like, cool, I'm going to get 2 more employees. And then I can go work in the office and I don't have to plumb anymore. It's like dope.
That's the dream.
And then like 3 months later, that happened. And then it was like, man, I want to make $1 million a year. That one took me a little longer, but I think like probably a year and a half later, I remember the day that I popped open what was it? It was $1 million profit. I must have looked at my QuickBooks and I went last 365. And it was like 1012, like 1,000,012,000 or something. It was probably some change in there, but I was like, I remember the feeling. I was like, holy crap. That was after I moved here.
Yeah.
I called my GM, Eddie, and I was like, dude, I just pulled my QuickBooks for the last year and I made $1 million. He was like, that's awesome, man. I wrote that in my journal.
Really?
For the whole time, every day. I'd wake up and I'd write, I make $1 million a year. Now I want to make $1 million a month. That one's a little harder, believe it or not.
Dude. But hey, you're building a system for it, though.
We're getting there, yeah. Yeah, getting there.
That's exciting.
Someday I'll be there. Might take 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, one day you're going to check your QuickBooks and you're going to be like, damn, I made $1 million this month.
I'm like, dang, what? I made $1 million. Yeah. And it's not even really about the money. It's the goal of getting there. That's the fun part. And that's the funny thing that I learned. Right. Like, I spent so much time trying to live simple because I thought that's where freedom was. Because if I live simple, I don't need money. And what I learned is that
you become more of a slave, dude.
You do. And because
I wanted the same thing.
Yeah. And to me, it was like, no, true freedom happened when I had money, but I still lived simple. And so I had this giant gap between my living expenses and how much money was coming in. And I could take that money and like I had the freedom to go do things that I actually wanted to do. Like hire my best, like Joel was not, I wouldn't consider my best friend at that time, but he's probably one of my best friends now.
Really
Hopefully he doesn't
friend.
watch this. He didn't go to his head, but he's a good friend. We'll call him that. I could hire him and we could create these positions for him. And
yeah,
I got to hire my son and, we started Wealthy Plumber and things that don't necessarily have to make you money, but are enjoyable. Those
yeah,
things are
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Good
No,
stuff.
I love that, dude. I think, and I was the same way. That's kind of why we got in a big money bind before, is like we wanted to buy a random piece of land out in the country, and put a little tiny house on it and
Yeah.
live off the land.
Yeah.
And we started setting up for it and getting ready for it. But then we realized, like, on $15 and $10 an hour, like, what kind of freedom we gonna have? Like,
None.
no. So we gave that up, and like we just started chasing the dream, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I think you're right about living simple and still having money. I think that's important. So
To me, it's the way to go. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm naturally a pretty simple person.
Yeah.
Like I've got like 2 pairs of pants and 3 t-shirts, and I just don't want a whole lot.
yeah,
Probably the most expensive thing I have is my gun, or the biggest investment I made this year outside of business is probably my gun range. That's it. Yeah.
and that's for fun.
Yeah.
That is fun too.
Yeah. We'll have to go shoot again.
Got to do that ASAP.
Yeah. Did you buy a gun yet?
I haven't yet, but I'm
Yeah.
about to.
Yeah, you got to.
Got to.
Got to get that left-handed holster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta get. Do they have a left-handed gun like that? You think I could get one like that?
So most of those guns you can swap the safety around,
Okay.
but
But what about ejection? Because they're flying out in front of my face at this point.
Yep, it'll always be that way.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know. I got a left-handed shotgun before, so
Oh yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So, okay, we got going on Facebook. We can go get in these community groups. I should probably do that stuff. Like, this is stuff that everybody should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean, not necessarily you, Jared. You're busy, but maybe you could find an assistant, maybe an executive assistant type.
Dude.
You got too much going on, dude.
Like, if I
Don't be
paid
trying to
somebody
do that.
$15 an hour to go get in Facebook groups,
Yep.
what does $15 an hour cost? Let's do the math.
I failed Algebra 1 Part 1 3 times. So you.
So I've tried to do math. I'm pretty good at math, and I'll try to do it in my head on a podcast, and it doesn't work. $600 a week, $2,400. It would have to bring you. It would have to bring us in like 1.5 jobs a month.
It may not right off top, but you give it a little bit. Them customers will start buzzing in that group from. So anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So guys starting out, they can go do that.
Yeah.
And then we talked about GLSA. I mean, anybody can sign up for GLSA.
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody can go on in there and make that happen.
Yep. Google business profile, obviously. If you're already ranked in the top 3, just make sure you're posting every day. But if you're not, that should be a giant priority.
It posting every day on your GMB.
Yeah.
Like doing the updates.
Yep. Some marketing companies talk about, we post 3 times a week, or we post once a week. We think it's a good idea to post every day. So
Yeah, we did 10 times a week.
Boom.
Boom. The only reason was we were already posting on Facebook 10 times a week, and so we just
go, dude.
popped it over there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Personal Facebook. A lot of people don't do any marketing on their personal Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is outrageous because your friends and family
is.
literally live right beside you.
Yeah,
And they'll share the word too. So that's big. Personal stuff. Definitely want to be sharing on the personal profile. You want to be networking with people out and about.
the personal Facebook profile, that's what got me my first little bit of work.
Yeah.
I would go on Facebook. Back then, the limit seemed to be higher. You could add friends faster. So I went from 100 friends to 2,500 friends, all in Fairbanks in a real short period of time. And I just started posting every day.
That's a great way to build your market initially, dude.
The second week that I did that, so I was in business for 1 week with no jobs. Week number 2, somebody called me and I got a big, like $14,000 job. And I was like, this is rad. And from then on, I was busy as all get out. But I posted almost every day for a while. Yeah.
There you go. What were you posting?
I would literally just type, hey guys, I just started my plumbing business back up. If you need some plumbing, call or text me here. And it worked.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They just need to know about you.
Yeah, that's it. And so I had a friend who recommended me to his friends to get a boiler installed. And they called me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And they had some other quotes, and I wasn't the cheapest, but I was a recommendation, and I showed them what I could do, and I showed them some other systems, and they knew I was going to put in something of quality, and so they bought my system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Recommendations, usually they're the strongest. They're the hottest leads.
Yeah. I just signed up with a company called Refer Pro. You ever hear of them? Seems kind of cool. I don't, if you sign up for them, it's at your own risk because I don't know how well it works. Anybody listening. But it's basically
Multiply Digital Marketing is not getting behind this because I don't know nothing about it. Let's go, Jay.
So it seems cool. I talked to the owner. He may come down and be on the podcast.
Awesome.
But it's basically a program that syncs with Service Titan, and it'll send if you do a job, customer pays you, it'll send out a text message to that customer that says, hey, we just put together a referral program, and you've got a link that you can use to send. If you know anybody that would like our services, we'll pay you X amount if they use our services, and we'll actually give them an X amount discount for you referring as a form of appreciation.
I love it.
So we set it up for 100 and 100.
Yeah.
So if you refer Dude Wash, you get $100, and then the customer you referred, they get $100 off their service. So it costs us $200. Obvious, I'm going to work some of that. That's more than I'm paying Google, but I'm going to work some of that back into our pricing so that it's covered. I just thought it'd be cooler to give a bigger discount.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
The bigger, the more value in your offer, dude. The more the more attention it's going to get.
Yeah. So the thing that I like about this is they don't like I can go buy a list, and I can pop it in there and send that text message out to a bunch of people. So I could go buy a list of realtors. I could go buy a list of, bug sprayers. I could go buy a list of electricians. I could go buy a list of plumbers, like people who are already at these people's homes, and be like, hey, refer our company and we'll give you $100 for everybody you refer.
That's cool.
The other part that seems cool is that not only do they get they get a link and a QR code that they can go share anywhere digitally. So like anytime somebody pops up on a Facebook page, they could share their referral link.
That part's cool.
Yeah. If it was me, I'd be posting every day on my personal Facebook page like, hey man, you guys need a pressure washer? Hire these guys.
Yep.
They're awesome. Here's the link.
Yep.
I'd be going into all the Facebook groups and I'd be like, I just used Dude Wash. They're freaking rad. Here's the link.
You can make a ton of money just as an affiliate for Dude Wash.
You could, yeah. You could do real well. And then everybody else gets $100 off. Yeah.
No, I love that. I may be off about this, but tell me, do you feel like homeowners and stuff and more residential type people, aside from like business owners, do you feel like they would maybe share your stuff more often than like a business owner would? Because I feel like that. That's what
I do, because they have more of an incentive. Like for a business owner, like I wouldn't, if somebody sent me that link, I wouldn't share it as a business owner.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to I don't want my business affiliated with that business.
Yep.
Unless we align on our values.
Yep.
Because if they're a crappy business, I don't want to be affiliated.
That's it, dude.
If they're a cheap business, I don't want to be affiliated. Yep. I want to be affiliated with like, these guys are quality. They do good work. Yeah, they cost money, but when I call them, I know I'm going to get taken care of.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
I know they're going to do a good job. They're going to do it quick. And I don't have to worry about the person they're going to send over to my house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about crappy equipment. I don't have to worry about them. If they mess something up, they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of customers out there like that. So
I think you're right.
I don't want to be related to somebody who's not like that. I don't know.
I agree. Me neither.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've noticed that in as far as like offers and giveaways. Like if I run an ad for myself, and ask, say, hey, tag a business owner friend of yours, and you'll get this. That ad's not going to work very well for me.
Yeah.
But if my buddy runs it for his wrap business, he can tell them to share or tag 3 people or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're definitely tagging 3 people because they want that free wrap, right? So,
right.
Anyway, B2B a little different from B2C. So
yeah. Yep. I hear you.
Anyway, that was a question I had. So
yeah. One thing that I think is going to be cool is I bought a guy's business. It was him running his business, and it, he had like 160 reviews, 5-star reviews, good reviews, but he basically was doing like $260K in revenue and like $30K in profit, and then paying himself $30K. And then, but by the time you like add in a marketing budget and somebody that answers the phones and all this other stuff. The business didn't make any money. No. And so he was asking like 260K for his business. And I went and offered a much, much, much smaller amount. And I basically bought a customer list from him and a phone number, a website, and a GMB with 165 star reviews. But that dude, he's been super cool. So I pay him, I think I pay him $100 a month to use his address for our GMB. Cool. I didn't want to change it because I didn't want to get suspended. Yeah. And then he went and got a job working at a flooring store. And he came over one day and he's like, "Hey man, you got any clip flyers?" And I'm like, "What the hell are clip flyers?" He's like, the flyers you fold in half and you put like a binder clip on it. And I was like, "No, I've never seen that." And he goes, "Oh, it's big in the pressure washing world." And I was like, "Well, what do you do with it?" And he goes, "Well, you get a stiff enough flyer. It's like 10 by 4. It's a big, long, skinny flyer. You fold it in half, you clip it, and you can chuck it out your window and it flies like a Frisbee. And you go chuck them in people's yards." And so this dude, I bought him 1,000 flyers like 3 weeks ago. And he texted me today and he goes, "Hey, I'm out of flyers." I'm like, "Oh, geez Louise, dude."
He chunked 1,000 of them?
He chucked 1,000 flyers. I was like, "You're crazy."
My boy.
But like for him, like I'm giving him, for those, I gave him $50. We gave him a dedicated phone number on the flyer.
Cool. Yeah.
And anybody who spends money with him, we give him $50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this Refer Pro thing, just to me, I'm going to give him a QR code now.
Yeah.
And then I can track it all a lot easier.
For sure.
And I'm like, man, I'm going to get you some more flyers, put a QR code on this thing and get you going.
That'd be huge.
Throw them clip flyers out there.
I love that.
Yeah. It'll be cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
That's something, I think that's something that a lot of trades businesses aren't doing.
They totally could do it, man. I got 1,000 flyers on Vistaprint. It cost me like, I don't know, $150. Yeah. Maybe. And if you throw 1,000 out and you get 10% of the people to call you, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot less work than yard signs too. I don't know if the return's as good.
The yard signs we've been doing.
I like yard signs.
So do I. We've been doing, the problem we have here with yard signs is that we'll go throw yard signs out and then people come take them down.
Like you did with that Harris sign.
Well, yeah.
I love that. I just watched that video the other day. That's hilarious.
I wanted to run that as an ad and I was like,
you should have.
Man, I don't know.
They would have came after you.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know at the time like how liberal or non-liberal Florida was. But
it definitely feels very non-liberal.
Very non-liberal, yeah. Those were the only Harris signs I saw. I didn't see a single other one. Everything else was Trump.
I ain't seen none around
here. Everybody in my neighborhood is Trump, Trump, Trump. God, guns, Trump.
America.
It's funny. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude.
These the yard signs, like we'll go post them like on like a major road or something, and they might last like a week or two. So you spend $10 and that sign's only there for a week or two. And typically, like we're hitting the intersection and hitting all four corners, and then come back a couple days later. Maybe they're still there, maybe they're gone. It's like that kind of sucks. $40. Yeah, gone.
That does suck.
Yeah. So like I do that, 4 times. I bought a phone call off Google. I'd almost rather spend my money on pay-per-click.
You'll reach a lot more people, man, on the internet is my thought of it. But also a lot of people abandon the old ways too. So I think guerrilla style marketing, right, is still in.
I think so too. And I think there's something to be said about having something physically in front of you instead of on a screen.
Yeah, absolutely. All avenues, man. All avenues.
Yeah.
Everywhere you can snatch a customer from, dude.
Yeah.
That's why we, like a lot of agencies, dude, a lot of them does SEO. They want you to rank in Google. There's more to it that we can be doing for our customers, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why not help them out with social media? They obviously don't know what the hell they're doing on social media. Go look at their profile. Like they don't even have their business name on there. Like most of the time, like you don't see their logo on their personal page, whatever. So they need help with that. They also need help with meta ads. Like they're over here boosting their posts, dude. You see them blowing their money boosting posts. Stop boosting your post. Stop letting people boost their posts. Anyway.
Tell me more about that. So I boosted my posts a lot.
So boost, man. It's just an easy way for Facebook to be like, here, a guy that don't know anything about running an ad, here, just hit this boost button.
Yep.
Yeah, let me take your money like that. I mean, the right audience isn't going to see it. There's several things. Whenever you set up an ad, there's several different processes to go through to make sure it's set up right. And when you just go in and click boost, it's just going to throw it out to everybody. Everybody that, of course, comes to your page and stuff, but you're missing out on a large audience.
So one thing I see that people do is, so I'll backtrack a little bit. I was a big fan of boosting my posts back in the day. I don't do it anymore, but I would go create an audience and then select that audience when I was boosting my posts.
Love it.
And we actually tested it. I ran those ads in just an awareness campaign, and then I boosted. And the reason I like boosting is that interaction on that post was viewable on my feed.
Yeah, it's organic looking.
Yeah.
Right?
And so when people would come to my page, there was actually like comments and likes and shares and hearts and things like
that's
that
cool.
that they could see.
That's a good part of it for sure.
Yeah.
I like that part.
You know, I don't know. I don't boost them anymore.
Yeah, good.
But and mainly just because it's easier just to go set up an ad.
Yeah.
And be done with it.
I think you're going to get more of your money's worth that way too.
True. Yep. I agree. So, oh man, I was going to talk about something here. Crap. I hate it when that happens.
We were talking about all avenues.
All avenues. Facebook, boosting, ads.
Yard signs and stuff.
Yard signs.
Guerrilla style marketing.
So now, yard signs. I didn't even finish that thought.
Okay.
We've been doing a yard sign competition. So instead of just going to somebody's house and being like, hey, can we put a yard sign, or we'll give you a discount if you let us put a yard sign up, we say, hey, do you want to enter a competition to win $100? And they go, yeah, because everybody does.
Yes.
Like $100 is $100. Nobody says no. Nope. Some people might say like, what do I got to do?
They're not telling you no.
But they don't say no, right? And so we just say like, yeah. So basically you let us put a yard sign in your yard. And at the end of every month, we draw out of a hat a customer who we know has a yard sign out. Yeah. We drive by. If you still have a yard sign, we come give you $100.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing lately to incentivize people to keep a yard sign out in their yard.
That's a really good idea for the yard signs.
And we've got a pretty good take rate outside of, some people don't want to do it because of HOA. But outside of HOAs, we got it's
so
pretty
that's
good.
Probably a way better return for you than
better
corners and
and then
out in public where people can physically go rip your sign up.
Yep. And then it's in somebody's yard. Nobody's going to rip it out.
Damn right.
And their neighbors are walking their dogs next to the sign. Typically they're in neighborhoods with sidewalks, that sort of thing.
And they look up and see the house is beautiful and done right.
Yep. Yep.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Yard signs are awesome. Again, all avenues, man. Yeah.
Let's see. So one of my biggest things that, a lot of the people in my group, and it's really hard to get it's really hard for them to understand how it all kind of ties together. You got your brand, your image, your look, your colors, your textures, your tagline, and the way I think about it is we go put that brand in front of people. So I'm paying money on Facebook just to literally put that brand in front of people and entertain them a little bit if I can. And so they see it and they remember it. And we run on Facebook, we run some awareness ads, and then we run some traffic ads, just trying to get people to click it and go to our website. And then on my website, I've got a video that when you go there, it'll play the video just to keep you on there so that you start watching that video. And then we retarget you with YouTube and Google display ads I think we follow you around for like 90 days. And then we retarget you on Facebook again. So you interact with one of my things and somehow make it to our website. You're getting retargeted on YouTube, Google display, and Meta. And then to me, what happens is somebody will learn about you, right? So they'll learn that Dude Wash exists. It's a thing. Mm-hmm. And then when they're out in the wild and they see a billboard They go, oh, that's that company, Dude Wash, right? Oh, they're local. They're like in my town. Then they notice your truck driving around. Whereas before, had you not grabbed their attention and like just shoved that stuff in their face till they're tired of you, they never would have noticed it.
They could be looking at you and not notice it.
They could be looking at you and not notice,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Yeah. And then when they need, like my theory is when they need somebody, now they go to Google and they either just search for you if your name is good enough, or they still search pressure washing company or plumbing company or HVAC company near me. And if you can rank halfway decent, you'll be in there when they look for you.
Yeah.
And they'll remember you. And so they have a choice between a few different options, 2, maybe 3 of them they don't know nothing about, but then there's you. And they remember your Facebook ad, and they remember your billboard, and they remember your truck, and so they call you. That's my theory. What do you think about that?
Dead on.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yep.
They saw you in the Facebook group when you were posting in there.
Yeah, you're staying in their face, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think
for
you
sure.
can overdo it? Be too loud?
For who? People that aren't your target audience, maybe?
I don't
Or
know.
people that, I mean, if somebody leaves me because I'm posting 3 to 6 times a day, I didn't want them anyway. Like, I didn't
Well, they
wanna
still
work
know
with
who
them
you
anyway.
are.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, I remember like,
I mean, I don't think you can overdo it, dude. But I mean, it depends on what overdo it is to you, I guess. If you don't, if you care that people think that you're too loud or you're aggravating or that you post too much, then yeah, you can overdo it. But if you don't give a shit, dude, roll with it.
so there was a guy in Fairbanks. He always said, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So he like customers would talk crap about him. He was like, dope. At least they're talking about me.
Yeah.
That was his attitude. And then like I remember Grant Cardone. Seems like he's not doing so hot anymore. Having all those
He's about to
problems.
run for governor, dude,
Is he really?
of California. I think he's about to.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
he's about to take that job. I think he's getting into politics now.
Really?
Yeah,
He's having all those problems with Gary Brecka.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about what's going on though.
I don't.
All I
really
seen was
either.
he said leave the kids out of it, but I don't know much about it.
I don't know nothing about it, and then you can't. I don't know what to trust on the internet
You
these
don't
days.
know, dude.
I have no idea.
He's always had a lot of controversy tied to his name, Grant Cardone. But that's okay.
So he'd be another one of those. No such thing as bad publicity, right? And I remember reading his 10X book, and he was talking about. I think in that book he was talking about his email list. How 40% of the people that invest with him, real estate wise, have unsubscribed from his email list. So he drove them so nuts that they unsubscribed, but they still invested with him.
Yeah.
Like they invest, and this is after the fact, after they unsubscribed. So for me, I was always like, well, I guess I'll just like put it in their face until they're so tired of it they block us. But at least they know who we are.
That's
at
it,
that
dude.
point.
I mean, I think it's okay to post 3 to 6 times a day on my Facebook, and I want to get to 3 to 6 posts a day.
On your personal page?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Blowing them up. The name, it's in the name, bro. Multiply. I mean, we got to really keep hitting it.
So do you systemize that at all? Or do you
My
just,
personal?
Yeah.
No, because I'm handling it.
Yeah.
I have ADHD. Dude. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. No system. Whenever a good one pops, I'll go write it. Or like last night, I wrote a whole post out or whatever and waited till this morning to post it because I knew nobody would look at it overnight and it would
Yeah.
lose traction. So when I think of something good, I'll write it down. No system, dude. I just want to make sure that I'm posting enough for myself. That's on my personal. Now, on the business, yeah, we have systems. The team
Yeah.
has it set up in Vista Social to be posting every day.
Oh, yeah, we just
same
got
thing
on
for our
that.
clients, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Watch Vista Social, though. We had it post some random post on one of our clients.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that happened a couple of weeks ago.
We're just using it for
Just
my
once.
personal brand. Got the VA
Great tool, dude.
VA in there posting all our stuff. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's got to be systemized, but I don't know. I think a lot of good content I feel like comes from the heart and right now. So
I have such a hard time with that.
yeah,
Like how often do you see me on Facebook? My personal page.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
Not very often, do you?
why aren't you sharing the thoughts that you're having or the big ahas or the? Because that's really just not sharing.
Because
it.
I'm busy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all. It's the only reason.
I get it.
Yeah. But like the only reason I know, like the power of the personal Facebook page is I know you.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know how that happened, but I remember seeing your stuff.
I can tell you exactly how it happened.
Well, I remember seeing your stuff, and then you reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And were we in proximity? What, like?
No, somebody, I posted a post. Hey, who's your favorite guru? Who's your favorite guru? And Jared Williams was in there. So I
that's funny.
Followed you on Facebook, started watching your videos on YouTube, and then the algorithm picked us up and started showing you my stuff probably.
That's cool.
And then I reached out or whatever, and I appreciate you meeting with me. And
yeah,
bro.
So I met my other neighbor he got in my Facebook group, and he owns, and I don't remember the name of his, I think it's like Blue Collar. He's got a podcast. I was on his podcast.
That's awesome.
We're going to look him up.
Yeah, I'd like to go watch the pod.
Yeah, it's good. Like if anybody listening wants to go find a good podcast, Justin Deese is his name. Funny, he reached out to me on, I looked up his name. Nothing came up. Let me find it. I reached out to him on Freedom Blueprint Podcast.
Cool.
It's a good one.
Love it.
He got in my group, my Facebook group, and then I was going in there and adding friends because I'm trying to add like friends in the industry.
Yeah.
To kind of start connecting better with those kind of people. And so I would go into my Facebook group and start adding friends, and I added him as a friend, had just randomly, and then he's messaged me and he's like, hey, it looks like we got a lot of the same friends. We should meet up. And I was like, yeah, here's a calendar link, scheduled a call. And we got to talking, and he's like, where do you live? I'm like, I live in Pensacola, Florida. He's like, wait, what? You do? Turns out we're literally like air miles. We're like a mile apart from each other. He lives across the valley from me.
Okay.
Pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't live very far from me either. I think about 20 minutes from me.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Yeah. So I went on his podcast. He's got a good podcast. There's an episode on there for the people watching. You're here, Lemon Seed Marketing.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen a little bit of their stuff.
I don't think they do any marketing. They just do marketing consulting.
Okay.
Which seems like it's kind of a cool gig.
Yeah.
Like for those bigger companies that have an in-house marketing team.
Sure.
Go hire a consultant, help you out. That seems pretty dope.
Love it.
But man, she had an episode on there. It was dope.
Really?
Yeah, it was good.
Check it out.
It was a good one.
That's cool. I think I was looking over some Instagram stuff that they were doing. I seen a couple of cool videos they did. So
yeah, they're having an event here in May.
Cool.
Which anybody listening to this podcast should come to it because I'm going to be at it, and he's making me speak at it. Believe it or not.
That's going to be awesome.
And I have no idea what I'm going to talk about.
I need to go ahead and get my ticket.
And I've never spoken before, but his program's called the Virtual CFO. We'll pitch it for him here. Man, here we go. I got to find it, guys. Hold on. Keep listening. Tell him a story while I find it.
Yeah, man. So back in my day. Yeah, no, actually, I need to get up with Justin. We had messaged back and forth a couple of times. I had to run out of town real quick, and I got back. It's been crazy busy, but I need to get with him. Solid, dude.
Yeah. So if you guys go to virtualcfoforthetrades.com, it's a long name, virtualcfoforthetrades.com. They're throwing an event on there. I think it's like, I don't know how much it is, but it's 2 days, Thursday, Friday.
I think it's under $2,000 for sure.
Yeah, I know.
I think it is, and don't quote me on it, but I think I looked at it and it was under $2,000. I don't remember.
I'll be speaking at it. My neighbor will be speaking at it. Tersh Blissett, who I haven't met yet, will be speaking at it. Josh Crouch will be speaking at it, and it'll be a good time.
Killers.
It's a great place
Hell of a lineup
to have a vacation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, and for the business owners listening who don't know, the time flying down here counts as a work day. The time traveling back counts as a work day. So there's 2 work days just traveling. And then Thursday and Friday, you're at the event. So that counts as 4 work days. You can have 4, I think you can have 1.5 times the amount of work days. It's at least double. You can spend at least 4 days goofing off and expense the entire trip. All your food, hotels, plane tickets, it's all an expense.
Love it.
Yeah. So if you want a vacation, it's a good way
Yeah, dude. And
Like the event pays for itself if you're going to vacation with it anyway.
yeah, I love it. And like I mentioned earlier, like Pensacola has the most beautiful beaches. Like I've heard Destin's
It does.
beautiful, and yeah, absolutely, Destin's beautiful. Fort Walton Beach, beautiful. But dude, it's not that crowded down here.
Nope.
Head down to I might not say it. I'll say it on camera. Head down to Navarre, and it's really quiet down there.
Dude, yes.
That's the spot.
Well, if you come here for the event and you're staying on the beach, I'll show you where the good beaches are. I'll tell you.
Yes.
I'll give you the local scoop on the beaches with nobody on them.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. We got our little card for the wildlife and fisheries to slip into the secret ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Funny story. I never go to the beach.
Really?
I hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I get so bored, dude.
Really? You don't just enjoy the peace and
No.
the sound?
No. I got to be doing something.
Need it rolling.
Yeah. I got a house on the beach. I'll never go to it.
Speaking of, I need to get into that sucker one day. I need to bring the fam down and rent it one day, man. That'd be sweet. I seen it. It's nice.
It's cool. Yeah.
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 It's awesome.
It's
Can you see the ocean from it? Can you see the water from it?
you can when you're on because it's like
On the very top.
it's like on piers. You got the
Yeah.
second story and then the top story.
Do you have a balcony up top?
And there's
I
a
thought
balcony
you
like
did.
up at the very tippy top. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can go up there and get sunburnt real fast if
Yeah,
you want. Yeah. I swear, like you go up there and you get burnt faster than if you're on the ground. Just that, I don't know, it's probably like 50 feet up there. Maybe not that high.
Look closer.
Yeah. I swear that makes a difference.
Yo, I'm sure.
It's kind of funny, but yeah,
That's wild.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it'd be cooler if it was close because it's on there's like that main road cutting through and it's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cooler if it was like one house back. It'd be just like so much more peaceful.
Yeah.
Because like this house, you go outside, like the pool is like right up against the road. So you're in the pool. It's kind of noisy, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It rents out well.
Oh, yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I was hella nervous buying it because,
I bet.
well, because I sold my business last year. And so I sold it for, don't quote me on these numbers either. I might say something different later because I can't remember, but I think I sold it for total 5.2 million. There was $500,000 owner note. And then, so there's 4.7. And then I had to pay off like vehicles, pay the broker, the accountant, the lawyer, all the fees of selling it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ended with like $4.2 million.
Hell
And
yeah.
I'm and I'm thinking about my tax bill.
Yep.
It's massive.
I bet.
Jeez Louise. So I pay off all my debt. I bought a new house, that house that you came to. And then I have this money left over and I'm thinking about how I'm going to reduce my tax bill. And so I called up my real estate agent and I was like, hey, I need something that's going to rent good on Airbnb. She goes, let me go talk to my Airbnb friends and we'll pull some listings for you.
Yeah.
She pulls a couple listings and we go look at them and there was a couple really cool ones. And then she calls me and she's like, hey, I told her I don't want to spend any more than 1.8 million. That's it. I'm not going a penny over. And she's like, okay. She goes, hey, you should come look at this listing. And I said, text it to me. It's 2.6 million. And I'm like, I told you I'm not spending more than 1.8. She goes, well, just come out and talk to the owner. He's a really cool guy. And I was like, okay, whatever. So we go out to the beach and I meet the owner and I'm talking to him and he's like, hey man, I'll deal with you. Like, if you're interested, let's make a deal, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this guy really wants to sell this
Yeah.
house. He's hungry.
Yeah.
And he's asking 2.6. And so we left and he called me back like a little bit later and was like, hey man, I just want to let you know. I was like, I'm totally serious. And I own the house that's like 2 houses down. He's like, and on that house, I know you said you didn't want to spend more than 1.8 million, but on that house, I've got $1 million VA loan that's sitting at like 1 or 2% interest, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the house pays for the payments. And so you could have less cash out and I can transfer that VA loan over to you. And I was like, okay, this guy really wants to make a deal. That's what I'm thinking.
real.
And so I told my real estate agent, I said, well, let's offer him 1.8 for the house. And she's like, I feel bad doing that. I was like, that's all I got to spend. If he wants to sell it, he can sell it. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. She called me back in the morning and said, nope, he didn't take the offer. And I said, okay, cool. I thought, sweet, we're going to go buy something else. And like 2 hours later, she calls me back and says, hey, he called me back. He said he could do $2 million. If you'd take $2 million, he'd sell it. And I said, nope, call him back and say I'm only spending 1.8.
Oh, you already got him now, though.
Yep. And so she calls back and says, he'll do 1.8 if you'll pay the realtor fees. And I told her, I'll pay 1.8 and I'll pay your realtor fee, but not his realtor. So that's how I got the house. I got it for 1.8 million.
Still.
And I had to pay her realtor fee. And then she felt bad because her realtor fee was like 40 grand. And she ended up giving me like 10 grand of her realtor fee back. Because she was like, I didn't have to do anything. This was like way too easy. She felt bad. And so then I got the house, and yeah, it's a weird thing. It's weird that I even own a house on the beach. I never thought I would ever in my entire life.
Considering you don't really like the beach, huh?
Yeah, I don't like the beach.
But it's cash flow, baby. So, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's cash flow, and it does pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a good tax write-off.
Sure.
It cash flows.
Yeah, and you'll have it. It's there.
And it's
hopefully
the only way I would ever buy a house on the beach if I was anybody would be to buy it with like have that sucker paid off.
Yeah.
Because that cost me like $15,000 a year just to have it.
Come on.
And then, you could rent it for $1,500 a month to somebody, worst case scenario. It's like I can't lose on that one. And it would still pay for itself at least, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Yep. Hopefully it'll go up in value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably will.
Yeah, probably will.
I think so. I mean, the area's getting more and more developed, man.
Yeah.
Pensacola's freaking awesome, dude. And everybody wants to come here, I think.
It is awesome. It's a cool spot.
It really is. We love it. And we live up in the country a little bit outside the city, and kind of like you. And yeah, man.
Do you have any of your clients? Do you see like the Doge? Is it hurting anybody here? Like any of your clients complaining about all the Doge stuff, like slowing down recently, maybe the last month or so?
Not any of my clients. A couple of people I've talked to in DMs have said that it's hurting them.
Yeah.
But it'll only be short term.
It will. I got a couple of people in like California who are not having a good time.
One of my buddies up in Virginia, he said that nobody's wanting to spend any money because all of them work for the government or they're government contracted. Yeah. Yep. So like literally nobody's buying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Move to Florida, bro. Trump's about to, I love that Trump's about to break it all up, break DC and all that up, though. If he's going to put this branch here and this branch here and that branch here, I think that'll help. So we can't get deep into politics here, though.
I think it's cool.
I do, too.
Yeah. I like the whole thing.
Me too, man.
I like that Elon's in there.
I'm fired up about that.
Yeah.
I mean, what a squad he's got there, huh?
My wife just keeps going like, what if this is like my wife likes to think about conspiracy stuff every now and then. Me too.
My wife does too.
Listen to Alex Jones and stuff back in the day. And
Alex Jones, InfoWars, baby.
Yeah.
I love InfoWars.
Yeah.
I still watch it.
And so she's like, what if this is part of the elite's plan? Like it was their plan all along to get Trump and Elon in there. And that's how they're going to take over. And I'm like, whatever.
They're going to have to be slick.
At this point, whatever.
They would have to be slick. I think a lot of why he's winning is a lot of stuff's coming from the heart, number one. I don't know. He's just a real dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that he's a billionaire and that he's going to really do our country great financially, but he cares about our country.
Yeah.
So he cares about people.
So I never really knew what to think of Trump, and then I read Sarah Huckabee Sanders' book.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. That was a good book. Made me think differently about him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
It's a good book. Good story. Yeah.
No, I love him. I didn't like him at all back in the day whenever he was hosting the show or whatever, when he was firing everybody. I thought he was cocky and all that, but that's okay. I guess you can be cocky when you got it like that. Now I love him to death. So,
right on.
I didn't know much about him before, I guess, and nobody really did. So
yeah. Okay. Well, got any last words?
I appreciate your time today, dude. Ready to go shoot some guns soon. I ain't got no other words for the pod, bro.
Right
appreciate
on.
y'all.
All right. See you guys.